Okay, so this has got to be my favorite episode, and that's because they cover the gaming aspect of things. The things that make Ainz, Kazuma, and Naofumi, like, attracted to the most. Because in Naofumi's case, like, Shield Hero, a lot of that world is based on video game logic. Their level up system, the way they get like abilities and stuff. So it's clearly obvious that Naofumi would be invested in gaming. Plus, he does know of gaming. Like, yeah, in his whole like story or before like getting isekai'd, he was like in a library reading books. But he has been shown to have played games in his previous like home life, so it is not out of the ordinary. Kazuma was neat. He definitely enjoyed video games. Hell, the reason he even died was because he went out to get a video game, and then he died a very sad and pathetic death. And then Ainz. I mean, Ainz is the definition of someone who played video games, considering the whole way his Yggdrasil works and all that. But yes, everyone is essentially giving Kazuma shit because he has been like absent a few times, and Megumin essentially had to drag Kazuma back to school. So it basically starts to bring back the old Kazuma. Also, funny to mention, while they're in like the nurse's office, you can see Julius just laying there. Like, dude has been depressed this entire season. And that's because of what happened at the end of season 3 of ReZero. And I genuinely feel really bad for him. But yes, we do have essentially a conversation of like who's been playing this brand new MMORPG game, which the pronouncement is Jormgold or something like that. I'm sorry, I suck at pronunciations. But I do like it that once like it's mentioned, Naofumi like gives the eyes that gets his attention, and then we have the conversation in regards to Ainz basically like talking about how he's been playing the game, and that because he's undead, he doesn't really need to sleep, which gets Kazuma mad because he's a human and clearly he needs to sleep or is cutting his sleep time, which is obviously screwing up his school life. And then we cut to them basically loving a lot of like the gameplay aspects and having their own little discussion on things, and with the whole skins of all of them getting the Japanese skin, which is kind of hilarious because they're all from Japan. Ainz having a more military outfit because, well, Pandora's actor, that's why he has like, it fits his taste, which is funny because he has a fascination for like the German army from like World War II and stuff, which, I mean, that's its own separate thing. Naofumi and Kazuma talking about the Japanese skin, like Kazuma talking about the Mirko outfit, and Naofumi being like, no, I don't have the character use that one, and kind of brushing aside the whole reason why he doesn't use it, and then it's just a bunch of discussion on how or why that could be. Granted, though, there is a reason why. I do love that Rem, Megumin, and Shaltir are all there, with Shaltir, unfortunately, basically being like she doesn't know how to intervene in this conversation. Rem and Megumin just kind of bored as hell and leaving. Because here's what I think. If Subaru was in that conversation, I can guarantee you Rem would be there and she would listen in. Like, she wouldn't know what's going on, but she would just be happy that Subaru's happy. That's what I would think if Subaru was in this conversation. But since he's not, she doesn't give a shit. And then obviously Philo and Raphtalia come by. Naofumi goes and like obviously goes with them because he's gonna take them out to eat. Kazuma decides to be a prick and be like, oh, you know what, Ainz? Raphtalia would look cute in a Mirko outfit. And Naofumi just comes in pissed off, like telling Kazuma, shut the hell up. And look, for those who don't know, end of season 3, Raphtalia put on like a Mirko outfit or a dress. And that essentially signifies that she is like wanting the throne. It's supposed to be like high royalty thing, and Raphtalia is a royalty of blood, and her wearing that essentially means that she's challenging Quentin Lowe's leader to become the new leader of Quentin Lowe, which is the season 4 plot. And that is a whole different mess. But not only that, fucking Shaltir just starts to say why she thinks that Naofumi doesn't want to talk about the Mirko outfit. And she thinks it's because he tried to force Raftalia to put it, and he got traumatized because he got angry about that. And I love that Naofumi comes in way pissed off. Probably more mad at that, saying that's not what happened. Look, I feel bad for Naofumi. He genuinely opened up. Like, this is the most invested he looked on, like, wanting to discuss things. And they basically are roasting him. And I just feel bad for him. Like, he genuinely is... I think that last one with Shaltier probably made him the most mad. And then there was something else that caught my attention in the halfway point. And that is that apparently Aqua is also addicted to the game, not just Kazuma. And look, I'm just going to say this. Personally, I would honestly, out of the all of the girls in Konosuba, my go-to would be Darkness. I mean, yeah, she has her Maxica side, which would get a little annoying. But look, if Aqua is a gamer, then, or could be a gamer, she actually could rise higher. Like, she is annoying. She's funny annoying, cute annoying, but until you obviously have to deal with her. But a gamer goddess? Girl? Like, fucking hell. Now I get why the author said Subaru, if he was in like Kazuma's place, would want to end up with Aqua. That is insane. But anyway, so yes, everyone is essentially talking like, why does this game matter per se? Like, within the students, they're all kind of just a bit dumbfounded because a lot of them are not from like technological stuff, and it goes over like how non-gamers tend to just view it as pointless and stuff. And then obviously a little roast towards Darkness on how she enjoys getting attacked by monsters and her not exactly happy about that. Before we move on to more things of Ainz talking about with Puck about the game, and I just love it. He goes all over the place about Yggdrasil, like how he loves the game, sure, but Yggdrasil has this and this and this and this and this, and this is the most invested Ainz has shown to. Like, I genuinely enjoy it. This is what a gamer feels once they can express themselves and start talking about things. And yes, this is obviously about to reach the same number of minutes as the episode, but I don't give a shit because it's a gaming episode. Who doesn't want to talk about that? So yeah, this eventually becomes a problem because of the gaming boom, a bunch of students have started to be absent and tired. Like, all of Tanya's like military fleet group are showing that they haven't been sleeping and stuff. And yeah, they basically now want to put a time limit on it. And Amelia's suggestion is 1 hour of gaming per day. Obviously, I agree. Like, there's so much to do in one game that 1 hour is not enough for most games. And I do love that Ainz even throws, what if will that time work, like, be like used if I use time stops? That means that you can just permanently make sure that you can play without that 1 hour passing. And I love that Tanya, since she's like, are you serious? And yeah, what threw me off was just the teacher obviously playing the game himself, and then looking obviously tired as hell because he spent all night like playing, and Tanya was genuinely worried, which obviously, for those who don't know, Tanya is very harsh. Like, in her own anime, she is known as the devil child. Like, she is insane. Granted, though, that's because she's in a war, and when she's like in her desk job, she's a little more tamed. But yeah, I do love it that Kazuma, Ainz are like talking how they're gonna join up with Naofumi. So essentially that talk led the three to join together in the game, and that this new player called Honey Please, for whatever fucking reason why we going with that name, is gonna join them, and that they'll be using like the chat stuff. And I do love that their in-game like personas or like their customization fit them well. You know which one's Kazuma because of the color scheme. Now for me, the color scheme is interesting. Also, I love that he's an archer, so it's kind of throws me off just a little bit. And then Ainz is literally just Pandora's actor, just in a whole different alt, and he's an undead and stuff, and that just literally, this just makes me smile because it's clearly how they would all be. And look, when the teacher comes in, and because he's clearly the one that they are all like waiting for. I find it funny because I think the reason why everything ended the way it did with him eventually realizing that it's his students that he's playing with, and then him just freaking the fuck out in the chat and then leaving, it's probably because there's probably a face cam mechanic for that game and a voice chat, and then obviously the non-voice chat. And it was supposed to be a voice chat, which is why we can hear like Ainz, Kazuma, and Naofumi speaking. But the teacher did not like fix this stuff and accidentally had his face cam on, so it obviously revealed who he was. And the others, I liked that at first. They don't seem to call it out. They're just a bit like, are we sure? And we're not like getting the wrong person before they kind of reveal who they are. And I do love that everyone's just silent. It's like, is something wrong? Is my mic on? And they're like, no, yeah, but like, how would you handle that? I mean, look, let's be real. Teachers who play video games are cool and all, but it does come into a little bit of a friction whenever you have a teacher playing with a student in any video game. It comes into conflict of interest and stuff. Also, different things, because, you know, teachers would like to do stuff that isn't without the students getting involved. So, yeah, I feel bad for our teacher. He genuinely felt so embarrassed and left the game. And that's how the episode ends. And look, this was probably the best, my favorite episode. It covers gaming stuff, and that always grabs my attention. Not only that, but post-credit scene, the stupid spaghetti zombie thing is like gonna revive. So clearly that threat is gonna come back to bite everyone. And obviously Crunchyroll is still a threat to its own self, because for some reason there's no title for this episode. But whatever. Outside of that, this kind of convinced me that I should do a retrospective on something that is an anime focused on gaming per se. It's a little bit quirky, but you know what? Fuck it. At this point, 2026, I'll start working on that project. But for this episode, 1 billion out of 10. Like, I just loved it. My favorite part was literally Ainz going off on literally all the stuff why he loves Yggdrasil, and why this game is obviously inferior to the game he loves. And Puck listening, like genuinely being nice and listening, only for him to basically say he has no idea what he's talking about, because he doesn't understand like that kind of things. And I would feel bad for Ainz, but I don't think he gives a shit. So, you know what? I love this episode. It's my favorite episode.